You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life, facts of the facts of life, facts of. There's a time you got to go and show you're growing. Now you know about the facts of life, facts of the facts of life. Facts when the world never seems to be living up to your dreams, and suddenly you're finding out the facts of life are all about you. All about you. All about you. It takes a lot to get them right when you're learning the facts of life. Facts of life. Oh, while you're learning them, learning the facts of life.
Hey everyone, you're watching the Esperanza 243. How are you all doing? It is afternoon here, but I'm sure it's either morning, evening, or night where you are, so how's your day going? Today there will be more book reading. Let's see, what should I talk about before I start reading, just to keep you guys up without having to waste so much time on Friday. I'm trying to be friends with Muhammad. I think I might have oops, I said his name. I'm still trying to be friends with my crush, and I think I scared my classmate when I told her how I felt about him. Or at least she didn't know I had feelings for my crush. So I think I might have scared her into dropping out of the class that we have together, but I'm not sure, because she said something else about why she wanted to drop the class. Anyways, more homework. This week, I could be wrong, but this week I really think I might be finishing my Identical Twins book. Really hope I feel like I'm I feel like I'm about this close to finishing my twins book. Awesome. You guys are gonna love this book. I am gonna post it on my website, storyworld.shutterfly.com. And if any of you really want to look at my stuff and without having to steal any of this, without having to steal any of it for your own books, let me know, because it's password protected. But if my stuff has inspired you to do something, let me know if you want to use it for your books, because I will gladly say yes. Well, not gladly. I'll have to think about it. Anyways, I'm gonna turn the fan on. The fan might be a little loud for you guys. This probably explains the noise on the last few videos. But here we go. And as I told you guys before, I read a little bit of what I've already read to let you guys know what happened the last few paragraphs or something. Here we go. Oh wait, let me check the time first. Good timing. Okay. Garnett was practicing a couple of strokes in the pool. She made sure to take a break after finishing each particular stroke. After 200 meters of breast and butterfly strokes, she decided to relax and swam with her arms and hips, keeping her legs together. Watching her swim like that would make someone think she was a mermaid. Almost. Someone opened the door and entered the pool area. She surfaced from being underwater. After hearing footsteps, She turned and saw a person. She smiled. "Hello, sir. Good day, isn't it?" she said. "It is a good day. The sun is out, birds are chirping. It's a nice day to swim," he told her. She nodded and agreed. It'd be even better to swim in the ocean. He smiled. "Do you like swimming in the ocean?" "I love being in the ocean. It feels so good. Every time I'm in the ocean, I feel like it's a part of me, and I'm a part of it." He raised his brows in fascination. She smiled and dived into the water. Like a mermaid. She stayed underwater as long as she could, just swimming her mermaid-like swim. She surfaced near the shallow end. You sure do love the water, don't you?" he asked. "I sure do." She looked around. "People think I'm weird, but I've been eating salt since I was 5. I'm even used to drinking salt water." "Salt water is bad for you. Are you drinking it from the ocean?" "No, I just use salt and mix it with water." "You're a brave girl to do that." The next second, they heard knocking at the pool entrance. They looked at the door. She smiled. Marion was at the door. She got out of the pool to open the door for her. Hey, Garnet, decided to swim without me?" She smiled. Garnet smiled as well. "Hey, you're just in time. I was about to go to the beach," she said. Her sister widened her eyes as she grabbed a towel. "Gee, when you and Mom rent a spot in a hotel, you sure don't let me swim in the pool. How am I supposed to cook with sunburn?" Let me try that again. "Gee, when you and Mom rent a spot in a hotel, you sure don't let me swim in the pool. How am I supposed to cook with the sunburn?" Yeah, I should have put that there. Garnet dried herself off as she replied, "Oh, come on, you always lather yourself with sunscreen. You'll live." Then she grabbed her stuff and headed out. "Come on, the ocean awaits us," she giggled. Marion laughed. "No, the ocean awaits you," she said as they walked off. "You're the life of the party, little mermaid." It didn't take long to find their mother. Soon after that, they headed to the beach. Garnet and her sister were playing in the ocean. Their mom was lying down on a beach towel under a big umbrella, admiring a shell. Nettie had found several shells to add to her collection and placed them in her family's area. She and her sister were laughing and splashing each other in the shallow parts of the ocean. Then they started racing each other against the current. Marion started coughing. She kept opening her mouth to breathe, but salt water was coming in. Oh, but salt water would come in. I always get that sentence confused. She stopped and had to tread water to stay afloat. "Garnet, I can't go any farther. You win." "Go ahead and go back. I want to see how far I can go," she called. "Nettie, come back." She tried continuing, but the same thing happened. Salt water would come into her mouth as she breathed. She looked back and forth from her little sister to the beach. Sighing with guilt, she swam back to the beach. In the meanwhile, Garnet was going far. She even beat her record without knowing it. She already went over 1 road mile away from the beach. Road meaning land. Oh, yeah. Land mile, not road mile. Land mile instead of nautical. She already went over 1 land mile away from the beach. Her legs were beginning to hurt in pain from muscle and the coolness. She decided to start swimming mermaid style and continued swimming. That was when she began to feel different. Her wrists started to itch. Her eyes didn't burn anymore, so she opened them. She could see clearly underwater. She could almost feel herself absorbing the salt water. She could feel her legs combining as one. She didn't have to swim as hard against the current. Her legs not only were one, they had scales and a fin. Was that possible? After a while, she was worried and stopped swimming. She didn't know how far she went. She looked back towards the shore. Her eyes widened. Wow, how could I swim that far and not feel the cold? She wondered. She dived into the ocean and swam back to shore. She was there in a matter of minutes. She was sitting on the sand in the shallow part of the ocean. Well, at least she tried to sit. That was fast, she thought to herself. She looked around the beach. People were suddenly swarming around her, staring at her and whispering. She wasn't sure why they were making a fuss. She couldn't find her family. Marion! Mom! Where are you? Marion heard her. Mom, she's over here! Their mother rushed toward her, and they both went toward a big crowd of people. What's going on? Why is everyone over here? She shoved through the people. When she got through and looked at her little sister, she gasped. Garnett, look at you, she whispered, almost horrified. Their mother broke through the crowd. She gasped as well. Garnett looked at her legs. She gasped. She didn't have legs. Instead of legs, she had a long, scaly tail with fins. Her chest was bare. Her slightly long hair just barely covered her chest. She looked at her wrists. Well, it looked like some sort of additional fins. As if they were pectoral fins. She couldn't figure out whether to be happy or sad. She looked at her mom. Was I adopted? Her mother gasped and kneeled down. Sweetheart, you were not adopted. Don't you ever think that, she whispered. She hugged her. I love you. I always will. I knew she was more than unique the day she was born. Her mother thought to herself, I didn't realize it would be this. The question is this what you want? Her mother asked. Marion moved closer to her and her little sister. She was on the verge of crying. Their mom stood up and wrapped her arm around her eldest daughter. Garnett didn't know what to think. Her eyes filled with tears. I don't know. Tears fell down her cheeks. One of the tears landed on her lip. She licked it off. Her eyes widened. Her eyes were salt water. Her tears were salt water. What's happening to me? She covered her eyes to cry and swam off somewhere to hide. Garnett! Her sister cried, about to run after her. Tears started falling down her cheeks. Their mother held her tight. I don't understand. "Let her go, dear," she whispered. I think she wants to gather her thoughts." Everyone around them had wide eyes. She looked at them. Some of the people stared at her and her daughter. "I think we should go, Marion." Soon, Marion and her mother were back at the hotel. She was upset and worried that she didn't feel like driving to her new apartment. She was asleep on her sister's side of the hotel room. Their mother was sitting at a chair, looking at Garnett's new shells for her collection. Suddenly, one of the shells started to... Was it vibrating? She stared at the shell. She didn't know what to do, but she picked up the shell anyway. What? She didn't know what to do. Alright, I need your help on that sentence, people. She didn't know what to do, but she picked up the shell anyway. She could hear weird noises from the shell. She placed it close to her ear. That made her able to understand part of the noises. It sounded like someone hiccuping every few seconds. She gasped as she thought she heard words coming from the shell. Hi, Mom. She could barely hear, but she knew those were the words. Oh my gosh, she whispered. The hiccuping slowed down. Hello? What? Who? Hello? She heard. Someone there? Her eyes widened. Hello? She said. Can you hear me? The person who was hiccuping realized it was coming from a shell and placed the shell close to her ear. Who is this? It was quiet. My name is Garnett, she heard. Who's this? Garnett? Where are you, dear? Mom? What's going on? How is this happening? She looked at her sleeping daughter. Garnett, I need to talk to you in person. Do you remember those rocks on the left side of the beach? Let's meet there. It was quiet for a long time. Garnett didn't know what to do. No, Mom. Let's meet at the lighthouse. Her mom widened her eyes. How are you going to get there? It's above water. I'll figure it out. I'll meet you there in 30 minutes. She put down the shell and headed out of the underwater cave she found. Garnett? Garnett! Marion stirred. She began to wake. Miss Tarleton stood up and walked to her. She put her hand on Marion's shoulder. Marion, I'll be back in an hour or two. I need to take care of something. She was still sleepy, so she went back to sleep. Time check. Look at you, she gaped. Your legs! They're back! Her mom was excited. How? What happened? She looked at Garnett. Her daughter wasn't covered, so she offered her shirt to her. Garnett took it and put it on. The shirt covered her down to the waist. She shook her head. I was swimming back to the beach where the rocks were. I decided to try to get out of the ocean, but it was hard. I guess my arms were not as strong as I thought. I did get out though. My arms were so worn out. I decided to relax. After I was dry, I tried getting up, and That's when I realized my legs were back. She sighed. I guess mermaids can go ashore. Miss Tarleton gasped. Then that means you can come home whenever you want. She looked at her. What do you think? Do you want to go back to the hotel? She gave her a questioning look. It's your choice. You could even come back tonight. And get some good sleep for the ocean tomorrow. And that is where I'm going to stop. I love giving you guys cliffhangers. It's the best part of a book and a movie and a show. So I will see you guys Friday. With more news of this week and a little more book reading. And I think for that book reading, I'll just read half a page because that was 2 pages. That was 2 typed pages that I read, you guys. I'm so freaking slow. Alright, I will see you guys Friday. This is the Esperanza 243 signing off.